Hello dear clients, in today's video I want to discuss some very interesting questions. The first question is the difference between prices for surrogacy in Ukraine and in other countries. For example, I took USA because this is the most expensive country for surrogacy, and some people, some intended parents and our clients do not quite understand what is the difference, why this is such a huge difference in price. Why I actually wanted to film this video, because lately I was talking to a person that told me that maybe it's less professional in Ukraine, or why it's so cheap, why in the United States is so expensive and you have it like 3 or 4 times less expensive. So first thought is that it is not so good. When you pay more, it's better, obviously. But I want to say that we have to start thinking not from the perspective of professionalism of people doing surrogacy programs, like doctors, lawyers, like all the possible team, yes, that is involved in surrogacy processes, but from the side of actually the level of prices and economics of the country, the prices for medicine in United States and Ukraine, the fees for lawyer in United States, it's much higher than in Ukraine, but the professionalism in some cases may be even better where like in Ukraine. I will explain. For example, when you go to a doctor in United States, you have one price tag. When you go to Ukraine for the same doctor, I mean like gynecologist, for example, you have another price tag. Obviously less expensive, but you earn in United States one salary, and you earn in Ukraine another salary. So there are different levels of income and prices in different countries. It means that even a surrogate mother will receive like a higher compensation. Some people think that like both surrogates, like United States surrogate and Ukraine surrogate mother, they do the same thing, but in the United States one person receiving a lot, like a better compensation, and in Ukraine surrogate mother receives very small compensation, and some people say this is very bad because they receive less, but actually United States surrogate and Ukraine surrogate receive the same. Why? Because important is what you can actually buy for this money in your country. In Ukraine, you can buy an apartment for that compensation. In United States, you can buy an apartment for that so this is the same. You have to look on this topic from that perspective, that the doctor that you're going to in United States, gynecologist, will be the same professional doctor as you go in Ukraine to get a consultation, but you pay different. Imagine if this is a whole surrogacy process where many doctors and professionals involved, like embryology unit, like a big reproductive clinic, and the prices in comparison with the United States prices with the same reproductive clinic will be hugely different, and the level of services will not lose in the case if you pay less in another country. And the same with everything, with lawyer services, the legal stuff, with accommodation rent for surrogate, because surrogacy process is a very complex and complicated process where many logistics involved, support for surrogate mothers, managers, coordinators, and so on. So everything forms the price for the surrogacy services. The same in the United States, like a third of the whole process and the price for services is the lawyer fee, which can be enormously big, but it looks like for us enormously big. In the United States, this is normal when a lawyer gets such a high compensation for the work. Yes, like it's normal to get like $25,000 for a surrogacy case, which is not the same in Ukraine, and doesn't mean that the lawyer works not so good as United States lawyer. So when we compare the prices, this is a normal price for surrogacy in United States, where the salaries and income is much higher. And of course, not everybody can afford surrogacy in the United States. That's why they travel other countries. But many people thinking that the price is less, then we should not travel to other country and try to get loans, sell the house or something, like get money from somebody from somewhere, from banks and so on. They are stopped by going outside because thinking that it's less professional, which is not the reality actually. Just a simple example: the parents that are coming for our programs, when they just basically go to a supermarket in Ukraine, in Odessa or Kiev, they are totally surprised by the prices in the supermarkets for food, for goods. If they go, for example, to a pharmacy to buy something, they are surprised that our medicine is not so expensive as in the United States. And they think like, wow, you can live here like having everything, it's possible to buy everything is so really cheap, but they don't know, maybe on some stage, that the level of income is correspondingly lower in Ukraine. So having this low prices for them is the average or high prices for us. So I'm telling you in order for you to understand what is the difference between the possibility to buy something in different countries, the possibility to get some services, goods, buy accommodation, cars, and so on. Why I'm telling this? So if we take, for example, medicine, we have a huge difference in prices here. If we take like possibility to buy an apartment, a house for yourself, there's a huge difference in prices between United States and Ukraine. And if a surrogate mother in Ukraine gets a compensation less, it doesn't mean she's underestimated or carrying the baby in some different worse way. This is the same surrogate, same pregnant woman that is doing the same good thing as a United States surrogate. So I'm not telling don't go to United States. I'm just telling understand the difference between the prices for the whole complex surrogacy process, which is formed from very different factors, aspects, and so on. So I would say that basically the process for surrogacy is the same everywhere, and the services are more or less the same everywhere. And it doesn't mean that if you pay like 40,000 for a program, you will get something horrible. If you pay 1,050, you will get a super program. It doesn't mean this. It just, if you're willing to travel, if you're willing to try to discover, if it's really not reasonable to pay more, then you can pay less and get the same result and same service, and sometimes even better service and less complex legal process. Because here I want to say about the difference of legal processes. If you do surrogacy in United States, the legal process take the biggest if we don't say about compensation to surrogate mother, the biggest amount of your money the legal process will take. The courts, lawyers, and so on. If you travel outside, you don't go into courts. You just do the process, the legal process through an embassy, getting the citizenship and getting the passport for the baby. So your legal payments are less many times if you travel outside. So you don't go through the local process in United States, doing the the parenthood through the surrogate through the court. So the surrogate mother passes you the legal rights and so on. In every state it's different. Somewhere it's absolutely banned, or in Los Angeles you can do any surrogacy process. But if you have such an income that you can do it and you don't want to travel outside, this is absolutely okay. I'm just telling that if you go to Georgia, if you go to Ukraine, if you go to Greece, Russia, everywhere where it's possible to do surrogacy and you pay less, it doesn't mean that you get another worse service, or get not the right baby, or something will go wrong because you are measuring the services by the price, which is not right in this surrogacy process. What you need to do if you want to get a good service, you need to understand how to choose an agency, how to choose your journey. But this is another topic for another video. If talking specifically about Ukraine, Ukraine has a very high level of equipment and professionals, especially in reproductive medicine. I'm not talking about the whole medicine, about surgeries, about transplantations, about some other medicines. Yes, I'm talking specifically about IVF, egg donation, reproductive medicine. Why we have such professionals and good equipment? Because our legislation allows to do such treatment, and it makes it possible to practice a lot for our doctors. Many couples, many clients, patients come here doing this surrogacy process, and the practice, many years practice of the doctors, make them more professional, give them more experience, and the reproductive clinics, they buy more equipment, better equipment for the work. They have a competition between each other because we have many reproductive clinics. I'm confident about it, and I would recommend you just not to be afraid to travel outside, to explore the country. If you think that Ukraine is a poor country, it's dangerous, I would not go there, people are living in outside, no houses, everything is poor, just take a look at some YouTube videos about Ukraine. Go and Google Ukraine Kiev, Google Ukraine Odessa. Just take a look around from your own perspective, just see where you will go. Don't be afraid, just to explore the reviews of intended parents that have already gone through such programs. There are thousands of couples that have traveled outside United States and came back with a baby. There are thousands such couples, so you will not be the first one. And don't be afraid to make this step, and don't be afraid that it's less expensive, and that's why it will be worth than the service in United States. I took United States because, as I already explained, this an example of a more expensive surrogacy programs, because in Europe we also have a difference in prices between Ukraine and Georgia, between Greece and Ukraine. There are also different levels of prices. And again, it's not about higher service, it's about the inner prices and economic level of the country. So I hope this information was useful for you, and in other videos I will try to open some topics regarding how to choose the right agency, some tips, as always, useful for you.